Good evening and welcome to Think About It Using Common Sense. Um, Today I've decided to just venture in and talk about common sense and what is it. And the title today of this podcast is Common Sense, Where Have You Gone? Because it seems to me common sense have practically vanished altogether. What do I mean? Uh, when it comes to uh, global warming, for an example, uh, we have politicians, some of our leaders, saying that there's nothing wrong with the climate. There's no such thing. But yet, to this very day, we are having record-breaking heat temperatures throughout the planet. Now, do someone have to tell you, and you're hearing it, you're seeing it, that we're having temperatures, record breaking temperatures, never before. And politicians are saying that global warming is a hoax. Now, where is your common sense? Does someone have to tell you that this planet is not warming up or that this planet is warming up? Do you have any common sense of your own? And the reason they've been talking about this for years and years about the ozone, pollution in the ocean, in the atmosphere. And we have not been taking uh, things serious. And we at a point now whereas the poles are melting, the sea level is rising, and it's out of control. It's beyond. Frankly speaking, I'm using common sense. You can't go back and refreeze the poles. You can't go back and replace the ozone. You can't uh, uh, go back and take all this pollution that's causing all this damage to our planet and undo it. There's a line, and people, whether you realize it or not, whether you're willing to accept the truth or not, it's happening. And from what I'm seeing, enough attention has not been being paid to the destruction that we, or big business, have or is destroying our planet for the sake of the almighty dollar. And this almighty dollar is in the hands of a few. And using common sense, they're talking about putting all this money into building a colony in outer space. The only people that are going into outer space when this planet is no longer fit for human habitation or the rich, the main ones that have made all their wealth from polluting this planet. Because I don't care what color you are, if it's coming down to the fact if you don't have the money, you're not going out there. You're not going to be saved because we're at a point now where this planet is on a collision course with doom. There's no fresh water running out, droughts, farmers, you can't grow food, you can't feed cattle, and the land is parched, you don't have fresh water. This is serious stuff. And we're being misdirected. We're sitting up here like a bunch of people that have no clue and no value on your life at all. You're sitting up here fighting amongst ourselves over some nonsense that you have no control over. And it's not even about uh, racism or people of color. It's about the haves and the have-nots. And then when it comes to the have-nots, if you're not a multimillionaire, a billionaire, you are a have-not. Bottom line. And that we only talk about 1%, 2%. And it's very, 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 very sad to see the depths of ignorance among people. We look at every day, every day now on the news when we're talking about crime all over the country, all these states, ridden with crime. The kids today are seem to be getting younger and younger doing these violent acts. And people act like, to me, common sense. If you have not educated, and they seem to say, well, all these crimes, the majority of these killings and these crimes is among people of color, Black Americans. But you have to look at the bottom of this, and I put out some. I did a little tweet the other day. This kids 10, 12, 14 years old beating a man to death and killing him. The man died. And they said, well, what we're going to do is we're going to prosecute these kids as adults. But I said, my opinion is these are not adults. These where they're out in 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. Where are the parents? And these kids that's out there doing this, and even the ones that's older, they're not college grads. These are not kids with good jobs. I don't think these are kids that are not coming up apparently with good role models. If they did, it would show. You are a product of your environment. It's just that simple. People say, well, oh, they did this, they did that, they should be held responsible. But if these children have been raised by a television, sitting in front of a TV all day, video games, their mind, they cannot even disassociate or from what's real from what isn't real until they get out here and they commit this awful act or crime. And then they realize when that door, jail door closed behind them, then they realize now reality began. But up until that point, to me, they are victims. And I know what they did. I know how people are saying, but these kids are victims. And don't tell me, common sense, do not tell me with all these so-called professors and all these universities that we have in this country, and all these top professors and teachers making all this money for all these supposedly intelligence that they have, you don't know the answer to these problems. Use common sense. Common sense, if we're having more killings, more acts of violence now than we have ever had, people, everybody, all our leaders and everybody have failed the American people. I'm tired of hearing all these different programs that you're doing. We put money to doing this, we're doing that, but yet we're getting things are getting worse. What we're going through now is what the seeds that wasn't sown and the seeds that was sown prior years ago, and this is what's happening now. This ain't something automatically just happening. Here you are now with these kids, broken homes, ghettos, not being allowed to get the proper education like other people are getting, not putting money into the neighborhoods. Redlining is calling, it's being called because some of these ghettos are in the best part of the city, and now it's being realized. So now they're being taken back. So now what's happening now is these people that's in the ghettos, now you're pushing them out into another part of the city where they all can just be there by themselves doing their things and what nobody really care about. And this has been the way it has been for years and year out, even to this very day. We've gotten rid of the uh, job. We used to have job programs, you know, on the job training, trade schools they were called. Excuse me. Excuse me. One sec. I have to cut. Hello. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. This is an important call. So so I may have to end this. I may have to end this session because this is a very important call. So if I get this call back, I'm going to have to end the broadcast and take it up at another time. But yeah, these trade schools. What happened? And no after school programs. You cannot put these kids in front of all these violent acts, these violent movies on television, uh, on these videos, violent videos, all the thing on TV, all these sex movies and stuff, and these young kids are watching this stuff. They don't know the difference between what's real and what isn't real. They don't. And then you're going to blame them and when the parents are not teaching them properly. If they have parents, they're coming up in some of them, not all, but maybe drug infested neighborhoods. And I'm going to have to call. Excuse me.